Ladies and gentlemen, Trump won a major victory in his classified data trial in Florida. The Florida judge essentially stopped the trial. So she prevented the federal government from expediting the case and withholding classified data. So what the DOJ wanted to do is they wanted to not give Trump the ability to acquire as much classified data during discovery as possible. And they wanted all these timelines that benefited the Democratic Party and the federal government. So with Trump, he had the power to declassify, number one. Not only did he have the power to declassify, the federal government's going to have to prove that he didn't declassify, which is going to be very difficult to prove. Okay, that number one, no matter what kind of classified data they have, it's going to be very difficult to prove. So they're going to have to prove that he didn't declassify, even though he had the power to declassify, and they don't want to give him the opportunity to defend himself, because what they do, the special counsel, not only Mueller, but also Jack Smith, they're known for withholding exculpatory evidence. So hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. Share this everywhere. Judge Eileen Cannon authorized a paperless order delaying the timeline she'd previously set for October 23 through May 24th, when the trial for Trump and his three co-defendants in the case is scheduled to start in Fort Pierce, Florida. The trial now has been stopped. It's put on hold. And it's put on hold to give Trump the ability to defend himself. See, what they want to do is they want to overwhelm Trump's legal team and withhold exculpatory data, expedite the trial so that it's all throughout 2024. So that's yet another thing that people, casual observers, could say, well, he's worse than Clinton, but he's not. We'll get to Clinton had servers, computer servers with top secret intel. Not only did she not have the ability to declassify any classified data like a president does, but it was impossible to have transferred that data without breaking endless laws and harming national security. I wrote about that in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Federalist, the other publications, the Daily Caller. So I wrote about that extensively. It is not possible for Clinton to have not broken laws, even though the Honorable James Comey states that, oh, yes, it was inadvertent. That started the loss of trust in government. I mean, they didn't start it, you could talk about decades ago, but in recent times, the loss of trust in government really started when the Honorable James Comey, the former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, said Clinton had servers unintentionally. There was no intentional use of the servers. Of course, there was intentional use to hide. But here, you can go ahead and look. Judge puts temporary pause on key timelines in Trump classified data case. The reason for the pause, like I said, is because the government wants to overwhelm Trump, wants to expedite everything so that he's not given the exculpatory evidence that he needs. So when his lawyers ask for this or that, or they ask the government to prove that he didn't declassify, because they have to prove he didn't declassify these documents. And if there's evidence that shows that he did, or even, the thing is, he can verbally declassify. So none of this is going to result in any prison time. Trump won't even spend 1 second in jail or prison. This will be yet another victory. And, by the way, the precedent is that you can have, according to Democrats, you can apparently have classified data on servers, okay, as a Secretary of State. Hit subscribe to this channel right now to read my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. To my new Patreons, thank you. My super thanks is below. Thank you. And the channel is up and running again. Took a little hiatus, but we're doing 3 to 4 segments a day. Yesterday was a bit slow. There are things that I want to talk about in terms of foreign policy, but it's always a big issue. And so I'm going to stick with, like, basically like a baseball player has a sweet spot in terms of the plate. Okay, if he likes the ball up and in, or down and in, or away, down and away. So there's a certain part of the strike zone that I do really well in, and I'll just focus on that. I mean, just my thoughts in foreign policy from an algorithmically appropriate perspective. This chaos worldwide did not happen under Trump. Okay, because if you focus on foreign policy, Trump is the absolute moral choice. The immoral choice is Democrats, who fund adversaries all the time, or allow adversaries to get funded through absurd negotiations that these adversaries then, utilize for their own benefit and then continue with their foreign policy or domestic policies. We can go on forever. But anyway, judge puts temporary pause on key timelines. And so you look at Navy versus Egan. That's the Supreme Court decision, a 1988 U.S. Supreme Court decision known as Department of Navy versus Egan, has often been interpreted to support broad presidential authority over national security generally and over access to classified information in particular. Now, Trump not only has Navy versus Egan, but he has other abilities in terms of executive orders. As president, Trump has the legal power to declassify information. He also has the authority to share information with whomever he wants, including foreign adversaries. So when you read, there's actually a Wikipedia post about how Trump shared classified data. Nobody has shared more classified data than Madam Secretary, who, by the way, will be the Democratic nominee. So Clinton will be Democratic nominee. I'll be right about that also. I've been right about a whole bunch of things, ladies and gentlemen. If you watch the channel, you know that a lot of things that I've said have taken place. That doesn't mean I'm Nostradamus. It just means that I have a pretty good grasp of politics, which is why or human nature, which is why you watch this. Trump has legal authority to declassify intelligence despite the controversy. Trump is right. ABC News, May 16th, 2017. Okay? This is a May 16th, 2017 article. You can go ahead and you can read the article, and it refutes any absurd nonsense. Trump gave nuclear data. No, he didn't. It's alleged. He's alleged to have given this information. Alleged, meaning that we have to make things we have to muddy the waters as much as possible, because Clinton actually had the most absurd and obscene, egregious classified data breach in the history of the digital age. Okay, from when computers started running the show, nobody has had a more egregious breach in terms of protocol than Hillary Clinton. To own computer servers for 4 years, okay, connected to 2008 technology, 2009 technology. Even the technology today, nothing's safe on your phone. But 2000, flying over, going to adversarial countries as Secretary of State. Okay? You have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where all of that information was almost certain. I've written about this also. Okay? I've written about this endlessly. Okay? You can look on Amazon. There's But Her emails and But Her top secret emails. And so there you go. I think that she'll be nominee for the Democratic Party. But here you have, and it'll be Trump, Clinton again. But all of this is to make things morally relative. Trump is just as bad. He's worse than Clinton in terms of classified data. And I think it'd be further from the truth. The people who obsess over information that misinforms misinform the most. Okay, Clinton had top secret emails held beyond top secret on servers. This was in 2016, people. And I've been talking about this since. Anyway, hit subscribe right now. Thank you.